Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4, The New Order, Last Days of Europe, with me, Alpha Omega, and the Empire of Japan. So, first of all, I apologize if my voice is a little raspy. I'm still recovering a bit from the flu that I had. It wasn't anything serious, but I tend to have pretty strong nasal infections, so yeah, it took me down for a couple of days while I had to work, but couldn't speak properly. Anyway, hopefully it's gone and you won't hear too much of the scratching in my throat. So we left off a couple of days ago with a major decision, which was, that is the question that we will have to ask today ourselves. What are we going to do? We have three things running at the same time. We have Italy, we have the New Granada crisis, and now we're going to get the African crisis. And we barely have enough political power, I think, for one. So, pardon me. What we have to do here, I think, is we have to... We're gonna wait a bit. What we're gonna do is we're gonna wait a bit. You guys seem to prefer Italy, and I understand why. It's the biggest pool, but we missed the first round, and turns out that just United States absolutely crushed it. I think that they threw a lot of political power on the issue. So we're gonna see how it's gonna develop, and if it... I don't know how many turns there are. Does it say here? I think it's gonna run for a bit. We had, I think, 2 rounds. So we'll see if we can pull them back, because I think that the difference that we done before was very minuscule. If at least any. I would consider it still a victory if Italy remained independent. We'll just have to see. We'll also see what Africa wants from us, and now that we have our troops coming back home, we could focus more on the New Granada here. We have a couple of... wait, is it here? Yep. We have a couple of options here, though, you know, we can just pretty much train the paramilitaries. Not much else is there. And I don't think that training any paramilitaries here is gonna help us. They have vastly smaller army than their enemies. So we either, and that is the question, we either will be able to send them direct help, meaning our units, and then they're gonna win, or we won't and they're gonna lose. It's simple as that. I don't think that there is anything else that we can do. So if more options come up, I'm gonna do them. But for now, we're gonna focus on us. We're gonna see what we can do with the African crisis, but Italy is gonna be the priority. But we'll see how that one is gonna develop, because I don't want to overcommit and then lose anyway. We don't have that much political. And again, I called it political power, and on this difficulty is the biggest issue that we're facing, and every time we lost, it was only because of the political power, and not once did we lose because of any other reason. Okay, so an alliance of pragmatic distrust. Cameroonian Foreign Minister Jean Fohibe and the Japanese representatives face each other. Officials of both parties were sitting stiffly, and while their faces were kept blank, neither were able to fully hide their true feelings. From the moment the Japanese had arrived on the airstrip, unease had permeated the air. Jean did not want them there. The Japanese did not want them either. Yet they were here all the same, not because they wanted to, but because they had to. Jean had serious reservations with the Japanese. They were not the Americans or Germans, but he was not stupid. The Japanese and their co-prosperity were no less imperialistic than American hegemony. And even if they were not, relying on a foreign nation to help remove the colonialist rot from their continent left a sour taste in his mouth. The Japanese likely considered his own government unreliable as well, especially since they had no common interests beyond seeing the OFN and the French pushed out. Unfortunately, it would have to be enough. We both know the priorities, Jean said. The OFN presence is unacceptable. We want them out, and to be left to ourselves. Of course, the Japanese ambassador said mechanically. Japan is, of course, prepared to assist in your struggle to purge the imperialists and colonists from your country. Jean kept this expression neutral. And in return? Better that this be a foundational relationship between our two peoples. After your victory, of course, the ambassador said without smiling. We do not have strings on our aid, unlike the Americans. Jean knew that was a lie, but knew it was the best they were going to get, and if they wanted to win, they had no choice but to accept help. We will accept your proposal, Ambassador. Let us discuss further details. So let us see what we can do here. So we can supply air vehicles. We could send military advisors. Oh, that one is really good. Armed insurgents. Send oil shipments. What is this one? We can send infantry equipment. Vehicles and infantry equipment. Okay. So we are allied with whom? With Cameroon and Niger, I think. Yeah. They have no relations to us though, and we cannot send them direct help. Okay. Well, fair enough. But, wow, they are at war with everyone. Okay, but there are 3 alliances basically. There's Cameroonian African state with Niger against alliance led by Free France, which is the KS government at Dahomey, and then Ghana, Mali, Guinea, Volofia, Jola, and Yorubaland. Wait, can we see the strengths here? West African War. 22 divisions against 33. Okay, so these guys are way weaker than the West African Alliance. But these guys are also weaker than the okay, so the West African Alliance is the strongest one, which is these guys. And these two are outsiders, so they will definitely need some of our help if they're to win this. Well, okay. Good to know that we need to do that. But again, we'll leave them a bit to their devices. I think that one thing that we could do here very early on is send military advisors. Because the attack, defense, planning speed, we get a little bit of armor experience and daily command power gain. Not that we would need that one. The rest I don't think is that good. Attrition. Expand military shipments. Larger shipments. Too bad all of this costs political power, which we do not have. Okay, this one is at least something that's gonna help us in return. One doctrine cost. How are you doing? Okay, so Free France have 3 armored divisions. You get 1. So at least it looks like this. They might have certain advantages. Was there stability and war support? Not great. France is obviously the best one. Well, either way, we decided that we want to wait, so let's not over-strategize. Someone also mentioned that there might be the options to send help to China on the map here, though I do not see anything here that would allow that. Because, you know, we still cannot send them shipments, but I mean, on the other hand, you know, China can burn. It's brutal and honest, but they can burn. I don't really care that much. Oh, but last but not least, and that one was interesting, someone mentioned, so that we check what the science expenditures do, if there is some way how we could boost. Yeah, no, this one is only research facilities. Okay, if there is something that would help us with the industrial base, bureaucracy, taxable population, wouldn't this one help? If we max it out, 0.21 billion, and we're earning... Okay, so 32 versus 32, 11 versus 28. 28. Euro deficit. No, it doesn't. It doesn't help. Perhaps the GDP growth a bit. It's not that expensive. So let's keep the bureaucracy funding at max because it increases the taxable population. So I kind of like that one. Social expenditures, healthcare, education. Yeah, I don't think there's anything that we can do to help the industrial base over here. We'll just have to hope that there is something that's going to happen that will clear it out on its own, because we cannot obviously influence it much. I find it a bit of a trap, because if we decrease that in the future, it's just gonna be very painful. Okay. So, share intelligence on German operations. Increases our influence. Decreases both American and our influence. Significantly decreases Italian independence. So this is their independence. This is the international meeting. So we need to get them here. And ideally this... Well, no, ideally just purely to us. Yeah, well, that did barely anything. Dang it. The American proposal. Effects on... So did you see that? That barely did anything. Well, we'll see. There goes 60 political power. How the hell did they manage to get them this fast? That was really over the top. So how's our situation going? We have 223 MPs. Yeah, we looked at that in the past because I want to soon pass the strengthening the yen block. I think this one will be a really good for all of the co-prosperity sphere, and we need to start getting stuff like this one. There's a lot of things here, and if we wanted to get, well, we could try to get more support, but that takes so long. So if we went, we would need reformists' help. So let me... If I burn this... Either way, we needed to do this. So let's sacrifice 30, that's gonna help. We have 230. And if we then improve relations with conservatives, we will be able to pass anything we want. Okay. Well, let me see what's happening over here. So Cameroon is attacking Yorubaland. There's no fighting around Niger. Free France is swallowing up Ghana though. Well. Well, we'll see. We'll see. 2.47 though is really good, and we're getting further boost of 0.25. Really nice. Oh, and what about the poverty? I don't think I checked that, have I? Yep, poverty started decreasing. Very mildly though, but it is decreasing. Academic base is improving, which is also going to help the GDP growth modifier once it goes up, which will take forever though. That's really bad. Global conflicts active, we know about those. Security of the Gulf of Guinea. So hold on. Our immediate most important priority is the West African conflict is to protect supply to the PALF and to deny it to the Free French. While we don't wish to directly intervene in the conflict yet and risk an escalation, the Free French have significant naval forces which the Cameroonians cannot match. Despite our desire, we will need to provide direct naval support. Okay. Despite our need to provide direct naval support and resources to... Okay, station a naval task force, okay. We've built up Cameroonian ports. Will Georgia increase our sphere advantage in the Gulf of Guinea campaign? Bamenda gets naval dockyard and we can then station a task force. Okay. So I think this one is worth taking though. Build up ports and then we can station a naval task force. Okay. So that's gonna take 90 days. And we won't be able to... There I go, not wanting to get myself involved. Where the hell did they say it was? Biafra? It's not Biafra. Bamenda. Where the hell is Bamenda? Where indeed is Bamenda? Did I guys have something I missed? Bamenda. Oh, okay, no, it's in Douala. Okay, gotcha. I didn't realize it was an entire area. Okay, well that should survive. So now we can work on strengthening the Yang block. The Yang block is our economic centerpiece, the pride and foundation of our soft and hard dominance over the nations of East Asia and the Daito Kyoken. However, following the collapse of Yasuda and the subsequent economic crisis that followed it, it has fallen upon hard times, especially with the presence of an ever-modernizing China. The economy is the bread and butter of Japanese society, and Prime Minister Ikeda would be wise to soften the blow from the crisis before moving on to other programs. So this would require us to further increase our relations. Although I think that this also costs political power 25. Use the public, we get extra power. Or we could burn a couple of these ones. Calling the Admiral, Necessary Evil. In the heyday of the disgraced former Prime Minister Ino, the conservatives of the Yokusankai dominated the politics of the Diet. Those times are over. No longer could the conservatives have a commanding majority that confront their confidence before the Emperor of Japan, and to persist in the course of sole rule would be the death and downfall of any Prime Minister. Ikeda Masanosuke and the heir to Ino legacy must cooperate with the other cliques and schools who fought, if this government were to survive. A necessary evil then. The Yokusankai, divided into 4 corners, presents 2 options before Ikeda. To request support from the technocrats would be tantamount to giving assent to extremism. Therefore, the cabinet has ruled out any cooperation with the Kaya Okinori. The first reasonable option would be to appeal to the left by working with the former Admiral Takagi Tsukichi. The second would be reaching out to Kido Koichi, former Prime Minister and Lord Keeper of the Privy Seal, and the eminent Greece of the Japanese politics. Whichever Ikeda chooses would mean conceding to their policies. He must choose wisely. Okay, so if you want to do this one, and then we go with Admiral knows best, then we could just go with Kono's overreach in this one. So worst things, or worst case scenario, that is 140 days, and we get extra political power out of that. We have significantly decreased the power of the Kido Ites, so I think that we're gonna go with, and they offer us some reforms as well, so it might be better to go with that. Okay, necessary evil first, and we'll see where that leads us. Once we get enough support, if we get it from that, we will immediately deal with this. And from diplomatic and military support. Briefing time in the High Command on American incompetence significantly decreases American influence. Do I want to do it? Well, you guys want me to fight in this one, American proposal. Okay, let's do it. So now they're going towards independence again, and but we now have to super chill. I don't really want to waste any more political power, not that we have much, really. Ah, Niger defeated Futafube. Good. First victory. First victory for the good guys. So once we build up the ports, we will be able to station a fleet. Cameroon is not an ideal ally. They are distrustful, display questionable ideologies, and are internally unstable, and their ambitions of Pan-Africanism are dangerous. Yet even if they dislike us, they hate the Western colonists more. If we want to deny a powerful elephant pawn, then the Cameroon must be supported. Huh. So I think that was the last one on the industry. Yep, pretty much. All major ones are done now. Aircraft. Well, we have a ton of things to do with the infantry. But our support is lowered. Okay, these ones are ahead of time. armored trains. Huh, okay. This one is good. Diesel electric train improvements. By replacing DC generators with alternators and diode bridges, we can eliminate several high-wear parts and thus increase reliability while also cutting down on maintenance costs. So we produce more consumer goods, more production units based on GDP and supply range. That is actually a pretty good one. So let's get it. Italy. I lost in thought over Italy. Okay, GDP is increasing by 2.8%. That is really good. Debt to GDP dropped to 105.4%. News from the southwest. Warlord insurrection in China. The National Protection Army declared war on the Republic of China. Great, we have more crises happening. Warlord insurrection. Upheaval has once again seized the Middle Kingdom today as Longyun, rehabilitated warlord of the province of Yunnan, has declared a national crusade against the traitors to the Chinese nation. A military dictatorship in nature, this revived National Protection Army nonetheless finds itself enjoying tremendous influence all across the southwestern region, alongside a reported influx of National Revolutionary Army followers as well as the CPC remnants from Indochina. With rapid mobilization already underway, Longyun and his supporters have made multiple explicit public avowals to overthrow the current Chinese regime instated under the co-prosperity sphere, a notion Nanjing has resolutely denounced as delusions of a madman, while promising a swift end to the insurgency. Call Nanjing to evacuate our people ASAP. While the situation in China is escalating, news from the southwest. War burns on the southwestern horizon, where the rims of the Chinese world ends. The politicians, diplomats, and the media have collectively decided to dub this conflict the Western Insurrection. The Gao cabinet has refused any attempt from Japan to mediate the crisis, seeking to prove their mettle on the battlefield. Word from Nanjing travels like whispers through the Japanese tent. We do not wish to burden the Japanese government, it says, a note tinged by the tone of terror and excitement. Chinese matter needs to stay in Chinese hands. With the Japanese diplomatic efforts rebuffed, the government cannot pursue the course of intervention for now. The Imperial Japanese Army, with its assortment of hot-headed generals and officers, are the loudest voices in favor. The Navy quietly nods its assent. However, the Prime Minister pretends not to hear these complaints. The Chinese are doing the same thing, after all. If the opportunity presents it, however, the Chinese government may be persuaded to part with its sovereignty in return for its survival. Until then, the government shall undertake to silence the dissent within its ranks. If China needs help later, it must pay, and pay they shall. Okay. Republic of China is no longer allowing our troops. Okay, it's just the troops. The Third Imperial Army. Okay, this one is ours, so let us station them there. It actually makes a lot of sense to send them here. Fuzhou. Okay, so you're gonna go there, you're going, you're not going. This one is also ours? Yes, Ikeke is ours. Shintawa is ours. Not Fuzono. Limbo. Not this one though. What's up with you? Why can't you move? Okay, now we're moving. Oh, okay. Let's let them deal with what they want. Okay, 26 political power. That's actually pretty good. We'll see if we win this one. If we do, then we should see a huge difference here. Improved assault weapons are a technology we just finished researching. So let us continue with... Yeah, let us help with, or continue with the 1964 infantry kit. As a result of the magazines for assault rifles being too short for the universal pouch, a shorter ammo case has been introduced. It is attached to the belt and has a series of straps on both sides for attaching hand grenades. So come on, make us win this one. Japan wins the issue. Nice. Okay. Following weeks of intense negotiations between Americans, Japanese, and Italian officials in Rome, we have received a word that the Italian government is receptive to the Japanese proposal at hand. Okay, so we have officially made them not in the, area of USA anymore, and we might actually... well, we'll see. High investment should work again, but we might have to burn a little bit of political power for that one. Anyway, I think this is an episode. We've done a lot. I'm starting to be really happy with the economy again. The fact that we have a euro deficit isn't really that much of an issue for me. The real GDP growth is way higher, so the debt dropping is good. We could eventually go with... Well, we have a military austerity already in place. Well, there's gonna be a ton of extra benefits that we can get from this. I'm looking especially towards the half-hearted liberalization, which is gonna be very good. It's gonna first take away a lot of our political power, but then give us that back. Damn, it's gonna give us a lot of things. Okay, well, looking forward to it anyway. So thank you very much. See you next time.